All right, let's get an update on that forecast. Weather alert for tomorrow, even into the earlier part of Friday. The concern here, Ross, for our viewing area, ice, snow, and slick conditions out there.
And we have seen some changes through this evening as far as, when we could start to see things change over. No big changes with the timing. It is believed that, with some of our high resolution models, we might see a little bit more snow. And I've adjusted that on our snow map here to reflect it, but not completely buying into it just yet, especially as we're going to be going into tomorrow morning, still looking at some freezing rain and sleet. But again, it looks like we could see a little bit further south with some higher snowfall amounts. Otherwise, the ice looks to be pretty much in the same spot. But for us, over the past couple hours, we've just been dealing with on and off rain and some pretty foggy conditions out there with the rain that's been coming through, and definitely setting up for some low visibility out there if you're going to be doing any traveling. But again, what we've been seeing on radar this evening, still just rain here across central Ohio, closer to home here in Columbus. Generally speaking, we've just been looking at some light to moderate steady rain. That's going to continue to be moving through as we head into the overnight. And again, we're going to be looking at some light rain mixing in with some snow, mainly up to the north in Marion. And we can see that we're also going to be looking at some heavy snow, perhaps near Bell Fountain within the next half hour or so. As far as the rain, well, we're still adding up to the totals, close to 3/4 of an inch here in Columbus John Glenn International Airport, and pretty much everyone close to a half an inch. And a lot of this rain with ponding out there, that might actually help to prevent a lot of this ice to accumulate in some spots where, again, still looking like with temperatures right around 40 degrees, it's going to be quite some time before we're going to be talking about that ice accumulation. But again, looking at those foggy conditions and some heavy rain out there, less than about a half a mile visibility over towards London. Temperature-wise, below freezing up towards Kenton, 29 degrees, 29 Bucyrus, but everyone else still in the green as far as away from all the freezing rain, sleet, snow action. But we'll see that eventually as we head into the overnight. We'll then be watching as this will transition from that rain to snow overnight, where we'll likely see some light freezing rain and sleet at around 3 a.m. That'll then kick off into the morning hours by daybreak on Thursday. But generally speaking, it'll be pretty light, and then it'll pick up as far as the accumulation, especially to our south with some freezing rain potential as we head into the afternoon on Thursday. We'll then see a period of time where we'll see heavy snow move in. And again, it looks like models are kind of beefing this up a little bit, so we could see a little bit more in some spots. Otherwise, that snow then starting to move in through southeastern Ohio as we head into the overnight into early Friday, where again, temperatures will be well into the teens, and we'll still see some light scattered snow showers for us as we head into Friday afternoon. But as far as the amounts, we are kind of on that 5 to 8, 3 to 6 borderline. I've brought that down a little bit, but again, generally speaking, still within that realm of where, again, we could be looking at closer to 4 to 5, 6 inches across a good chunk of central Ohio. Far out to the east, we're looking at less snowfall amounts, and there's going to be a pretty big cutoff. And again, with what some of the higher resolution models have been showing, a much more significant cutoff. But again, looking at this, there's going to be crazy total differences, traveling from Columbus up towards Marion versus from Columbus down south towards Chillicothe. So again, looking at a little bit more, perhaps a couple more inches in some spots, but generally speaking, we're still going to be looking at the same amounts as far as the potential for some ice accumulation, generally anywhere from 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch here in Columbus. Further to the south, we'll see maybe even close to 1/4 to 1/2 an inch, where again, that'll be primarily as we head into late Thursday morning hours going into Thursday afternoon. And as far as these ice impacts, I mean, serious disruptive power outage issues for us when we're looking at amounts that are on the order of 1/4 to 1/2 an inch, and especially anything more than that, we're talking widespread power outages. But again, looks generally light across much of I-70, but down to the south, that's where things will be more disruptive rather than just being a nuisance. And after the snow moves out, we got sunshine and frigid conditions for us as we head into the weekend. And again, we're going to be looking at temperatures that are going to be generally into the 30s going into your 7 to 10 day forecast. And finally, a bit of a break for us. But right now, we want to send things over to John Henry, who right now is in Mansfield with a current report on the conditions up there. John?
Hi, Ross. Yeah, right now, actually in Mansfield and Richland County, we're experiencing the change currently. In the last 10 minutes or so, we've started getting sleet and some freezing rain. You can see kind of some pellets bouncing off of my coat here. But what's really amazing is just how quickly icing is happening right now in this area. My feet are slipping and sliding in this parking lot right now, and actually our tripod is kind of freezing over itself as well. As for ODOT, we know that they're on the roads. We've seen them here at Interstate 71 and some of the local roads here recently, dropping as much salt as possible as they can to make sure that drivers in the areas do not slip and slide themselves. But we're really concerned about power outages in this part of Ohio, as you were saying a little earlier. I was talking to Ohio Edison a little earlier today, and they say they're just going to wait and see how this turns out. But once again, all it takes is about a half inch of ice accumulation on power lines for power outages to occur. So that's something we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on here in this part of Ohio. Guys?
Thank you, John. And here's a reminder, our Wake Up CBus team is starting extra early tomorrow morning. So wake up with the Wake Up CBus team at 4 a.m. to keep track of this winter weather.